once again, welcome back to Plot. Okay, right, good morning everybody. Once again, welcome back to Plot. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I made a video, but me and Roger have been really busy. Roger's been busy on the land. That's in between the days it hasn't been raining. We're getting nearly one side of the plot all done. The potato bed's all ready, the onion bed's all ready, the seedling bed's all ready. We've just got the other side to do for the brassicas and a few bits and pieces. But while Roger's been busy on the beds, I've been just take me time, and I've done a little bit of repair work to the fence because, as you know, in the last storms we lost all our fence. We lost both the polytunnels, were blown, ripped apart, so we've repaired all them, both the tunnels. Still a few tears and rips in them, but we're going to, when the weather warms up a bit and it gets a bit finer, we're going to go wrong with the tape and patch it all up properly. But for the time being, it's static, it's sound, it's where we want it. Well, vegetation that's underneath all the spring bedding is fine. Absolutely marvellous display of polyanthus. I'll show you when we go up and finish off this video. And they're so easy to grow. People want to get lots of stuff for the gardens, and as I keep saying, if you grow them from seed, it's such an easy thing. I've got a packet which you always misplace. I've got a packet down here that I've got to sow this afternoon. And these are the purple daisy, the ericaceae. I planted I got a small packet free last year. I think I got about 12 seed in it, and I planted them, and I got some nice plants out of them. I think I got about 9-10 plants out of the packet. I gave most of them away, and I kept one for myself, which I planted in Anne's plot in the flower pot here, and it come up great. Lovely big purple daisy, absolutely fantastic. It had about 3 heads on it for the first seedling stage for this year, but no bout. It was still nice. I chopped the 3 heads off when I let them dry out, and I've got a full packet of seed here, so I'll be sowing them this afternoon. But, so easy to sow perennials, and the basics are exactly the same as when you sow your annuals. Nice, good, clean compost. Up there's Mrs. Robin down. She's there dancing outside here on me seed. Good, clean compost. Nice fresh water as usual. I've also got a watering can down here that I bring straight out of the house. Never put dirty water on your seedling beds. It's a schoolboy error, and you'd be surprised at how many people make that mistake year in, year out. You put dirty water, even if it's only been in your butts for a couple of weeks. You think it's fresh, but it's not. The amount of pathogens and germs that can build up in it over weeks. That's where the perlite I've just mixed in with the compost. I keep forgetting about that. I leave the door open when I do it. It's a little bit chilly this morning. Normally when I come into the greenhouse I open the door straight up, let some fresh air in, but it's a little bit cool this morning. And it's 55. Perfect temperature what I want. But anyway, let's get back to this. It's the ericaceae. It's the same with any perennial. They're so easy to sow. Nice clean compost. And what I do with me annuals and me summer bedding, which I'm starting today. I've sowed my marigolds yesterday, and what I want to get in today is I'll just show you the basics. Is the Misembranthemum, the Livingston daisy. I sow these every year. Everybody screams for them because they can't get them in the shops. They can't get them at the nurseries. I don't know why, but I've always got to look around or send away online and get them on, get them from the companies. And where's my potting mix here? Now this is a 3-2-1 mix. This is not me normal, just ordinary compost and perlite in sand, because the only time I use that is when I sow lobelia. But I sow it in exactly the same way in a big open tray, and I make 3 furrows with a bit of old bamboo cane. Easiest thing to do. Make 3 furrows, and then you've got your markers where you're going to go. Now the Livingston daisy, you get, as I say, look at your packet, see what sort of seed you get, and you always get a couple of thousand seeds in a packet of this, so that's why I always get 2 packets just to make sure I've got plenty. It's a big standard seeds tray, so we'll just go nice and easy, and we'll do the 3 furrows. Just take me time. Why I make the 3 furrows if you're going to follow it through the year, a lot of you already know, if you've been following us for a couple of years, when I start potting these off, I know I pot them up from ones and twos, never. I'm a great believer in that, leaving them clumped together. And you get a much better plant, much better display throughout the year. Well, that's one tray done, and I've still got enough for another tray full. As I say, I put two packets in. Yeah, and it's lovely that. There's still a good amount left in there to do another tray full. So that's me Livingston Daisy done. It's 3 rows. Now when they come up, that's such an easy job to for me little, which I can't find. Look for my little sieve, which is normally around here, but seems to have disappeared again. But, I'm absolutely hopeless for that. Trying to get some gear together. No matter. I've got nice. You can go across here with just ordinary perlite if you want, but with Livingston Daisy, marigolds, dahlias. I'll be sowing the dahlias this afternoon. Pom dahlias. They'll go in. I've got a packet of 500 seed to go in, so they'll split between 2 trays. And there's absolutely loads of stuff you can sow now. Early March. Early March is fine for me. Never in a hurry. And of course, we're not having much heat on down here. These will go up and sit in the melon house. They don't need a lot of heat for your summer bedding. The only thing I do keep under heat is the petunias. Petunias are in here. I want them to come through pretty quick, and the lobelia. And I've got some geraniums in there. Now that's just a very fine coating of perlite and compost on the top of there. Now you will get weeds growing through here if you follow me 3-2-1 mix. But when you get your 3 footers like that and the seeds come up, you'll know exactly what's your seed and what's your weed, because you'll get little bits of weed growing, little bits of grimsel and bits and pieces growing up, but you'll not have any moss. Now that was pre-soaked, and then once again another little tip, should be around here somewhere, which I made up last night, the chamomile tea. Now normally I get a rose a good spray with that, but it's just along the rows with the seed on, and I put a good soak in the chamomile tea, and that's just to put the soil in contact with the seed, just to wet it down. A little bit of pressure there with a hose, that's all you need. You can get the seed in a good soak before you put any compost on the top, not a problem. But chamomile tea, fantastic. You've got loads of antibacterial properties in here, and that's why I use it every year, so I don't have to use any other seed coverings. Now that's my basics done. That can go up and sit in the melon house now, up the top, in the plot. It'll sit there. You can put a cover over if you want. Plastic covers are so easy to come by. You can buy them. You can buy the heavy duty ones. I guess I've got about 10 of these. These are great. Or you can just buy the little plastic ones and just stick it over the top. But as I say, this is going in the melon house, so it'll be warm enough up there. I've got loads of, I've been potting off tomatoes. I sowed the akron. I sowed 3 akron, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them growing and hopefully get some suckers off them, and then I'm going to root the suckers, because you only get, I think I got 12 seed in the packet for £4 odd, which is pretty expensive. But not to worry, I'll take the suckers off them, I'll root the suckers off, and I'll get a few free plants off them. And that's the only reason I put them in early. The money maker I've just sown, and the Sun Baby Toms I've just sown them. I'm only growing about 4 varieties this year. I'll stick my basics, my money maker. I love money maker. It's always our main crop. Gardener's Delight, I'll sow a few of them. I've got some akron there, which a lot of people are going on about. They reckon they're a brilliant tomato. Well, I'm trying them. And I'm also trying a different variety, which I'll find out in a minute, which is Fantasio. Now a lot of people are on about them and all. So I rooted them in my little propagator here. They're only in a week, and of course there's the tomatoes up. Now the reason I put them up this early is because I needed them out of there and I wanted them in a tray. Normally with my tomatoes, I'll let them grow on until they get a nice decent size before I pot anything off. I'm always the same potting off. I like my plants to get a good root system built up first before I try potting anything up. But in saying that, I've got to get cracking on these. I've just taken them out of the little propagator. Remember we sowed them a few weeks ago? That's the yellow peppers. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm just letting them grow on. I'm keeping a cover over them. They're on the little heat bed here, just growing away nicely. And maybe just give them another week. They've got a second set of leaves on in there now. As I say, I'm never in a hurry because they're in little modules. I'll let them go for another week, and all I need to do is to lift up the bottom and check the root system underneath to see if they really run through. And once again, little bits of weed that have grown up amongst them, you can just pull them out, and they're lovely and healthy, nice and fresh. But I'm well chuffed with them. I've got 6 trays of Celtic onion in the back there. They're grown away very slowly, but they're grown away. I'm not in any hurry. They're not for any shows. I'm not going to win any prizes this year, judging by some of the onions online. But if I get a nice onion for the kitchen, I'll be well pleased. And as I say, I've always grown onions from seed. I had some sets last year when I was poorly, and I sent away for some sets. I used to grow them years ago before I started growing from seed. Still got a giant, and I was really disappointed in them. Even though it was a good grower that I sent away for, a good seed merchant, I was disappointed in the outcome of them. A lot of them started rotting, so I thought I would check the soil to make sure we haven't got any white rot. I had been given leeks a couple of years ago, and I planted them in there, and I'm sure that's where it's come from. So I've just got to be careful. I've got to keep that bed clear of any onions or leeks for the next couple of years. So I'm turning it into a seed bed this year. After we pulled onions up, what we did last year, I gave it a good soaking with jizz fluid. We mucked it and we put a sheet of black polythene over it. That was last August, and it's been like that ever since. Just this weekend we took a black polythene off, and it was perfect. I just turned it over again, and I've given it a really good liming, and we're going to put seeds in it. Probably go carrots, turnips. It'll go into there this year, but there'll be no onions whatsoever or leeks anywhere near that trench until I find out exactly what the problem is. But as I say, I was disappointed in the onions because I had one set of red and one set of still got a giant, and it didn't really come up much. But I'm not really bothered. I'll just knock this video for 2 seconds, okay? Okay, right, back again. Just a little wife calling. My phone's always... I never bring my phone down here because guaranteed if I start a video off, the phone will go off. Anyway, as I say, the onions, once I get that bed cleared and I find out what the problem is, we'll go back to some more onions and what leeks in it. At the minute the tunnels are full, we've got them growing away nicely. We've got spring cabbage, we've got spring cauliflower in there. Some of my early taters that were put in have had a bit of frost damage on them, but I'm not really bothered because they'll pick up again. And as I say, Roger's managed to get the bed turned over for the main crop taters. We did keep some red ones back from last year. I'm a bit dubious about putting them in because what I found, the ones that were stored, some of them start to rot from the inside. And this is a sort of Myra. It's because of that big the potatoes when we dug them out. We didn't realise that some of them had little pinholes in them, and of course the grubs getting inside, and as they've been in storage, when we cut into them, some of them rotted away. So I'm in two minds whether to sow them again. Although I like the potato, I might just sow one because we've got 2 beds to fill up this year. So what I might do is just sow one bed of the salt with Myra, just a couple of rows, and then go back to our either duty oak, which we'll have grown, or some other potato. I'll have a look anyway. We've got plenty of time. As I say, it's only beginning of March. I'm not panicking just yet. But that's my job for this afternoon anyway. I've got these peppers to do. Just some small pots, that's all. They'll go into small cups for the time being. Just help them grow on. Next fresh compost, no feeding yet. My 3-2-1 mix is giving them all I want. If you've been following me and you're making the same mix up, you shouldn't have to give them any feed whatsoever. It should all be in there. That nutritious compost that you're taking out your compost bins is just full of feed, and it'll keep them plants going nicely until you pot them off. And even then, when you're making your own mix up, as long as you keep your couple of handfuls of bone meal in, or your bloodfish and bone, and that's going to feed them, no problem. So I'm going to put this when I find out where I've taken it from, for the Fantasio. That's them in there. I've got 3 Akron that I've potted up, and they're in there. I just potted them up yesterday. As I say, that's a Fantasio. There's 12 of them. I've not grown before, but there's a lot of people, a lot of showmen on about them, so I decided to give them a try. So that's me 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually 5 tomatoes I'll be growing this year to me normal 10 or 12. But that's my basics. Right. Only one thing I wanted to show you before we knock this first part of the video off, if you remember, the grapevines once again. Now I've got these sent up from Wales, from John Hayden, and there we have it. Nice big bud on there. Nice bud in the bottom, but I never use the bottom bud. I'll keep that off. I'll chop it off as it grows, and I'll keep the top bud for the leader. And it's the first of the cuttings. Now these ones are my own. This is a new grapevine that I took the cuttings off last year. Now there again, there's a big bud on the bottom. I can let it grow on, or a nice big bud on the top. So you get 2 buds. Either one, you can rub one out if you want and just keep the top one. And it's the same with that one. And this is just in a cool greenhouse. Now they're another fortnight's time, towards the end of March, they'll come out of here and they'll go to the melon house, and they'll sit in the melon house till June. And by June, you should have built up a nice root system. You can pot them up. There's been a few people asking about it. I should have brought the name down of a couple of the lasses that I'd ask about the vines. You can let them go till June or July, tip them out. There should be a nice root system in that sand, and you can pot them up into a 1 litre or a 2 litre rose pot and leave them there until October, November, when they die back, all the leaves die off, and then you can plant them in a permanent position. And within 2 years, you should be getting grapes. But easiest pie to grow your own grapes and, take your own cuttings. It's an easy job. I think that's all I can get on with for the moment down here. I've got me dahlias to do, and I see I've got these ericaceae. Once again, the perennials, if you're sowing perennials, are so easy to do. Like some marigolds, not to just broadcast them. Such an easy thing to do, but the likes of Livingston daisies, the lobelia, petunias, anything like that, just 3 nice easy rows in the top of your tray. Once again, the basics, well watered. Water it first before you put your plants in, before you put your seeds on top. Just a light covering, and then spray over the top with your chamomile tea. And within a couple of weeks they'll be romping through, and that's all you need. I will do a bit of sowing up the plot. I'll show you how we're getting on up there. I've got, as I say, I've got loads of trays of plants I've already sown. But what I want to do is I want to check on the spring bed, because the polyanthus, the daisies, the wallflowers, the pansies, I've got loads all sitting up on the bench here. They need to come out now. They need to find somewhere just safe, away from the frost in it. But I'm toying with the idea of putting a couple of tables up and a bit of polythene over. But it means we've got to make sure we're up there the morning when the sun rises to get that polythene off before you get any sweating off the sun, any condensation building up and affecting the plants. But we'll sort it out later on anyway. For the time being, as I say, I hope this is high enough. I hope you can see what I've been doing. I made that basic mistake in the last video that I couldn't see what I was doing with sowing the leeks. But it applies to all your seeds. It's so easy to do, and the only difference being is when I sow lobelia and petunias, I just use a basic potting mix and perlite or sharp sand, and that way you don't get any weeds or anything growing. All you see is you have 3 rows of your lobelia or whatever, your pansies, petunias, whatever. But they're so easy to grow. But the bigger seeds, the bigger plants, like of marigolds and not dahlias, you know exactly, or you should know when they come through, because they're a nice big seed and they're quite a big plant, so you can distinguish from your weeds from your seeds, and that's the whole idea. As I say, just a few basic rules to start with: fresh water, good compost, and of course good seed. You can buy cheap seed, but once again, if you're buying cheap seed, don't just expect what you can out of them. If they grow, they'll grow. If they don't, well, I mean, I'll always send away for my seed. You can get some pretty good seed from some of the outlets at pawn shops and that, but just be careful, that's all. Don't expect too much from them, but that's my advice anyway. Okay, so I'm going to crack on. I've got these peppers to sow through. I'm going to check the roots. If there's a nice root system on them, I'm going to start potting them up, and then I'll get these ericaceae sown, and I've got a big pack of dahlias there to sow, the pom-pom dahlias, so I'll get them. They'll just be broadcast. They'll not be put in furrows, they'll be broadcast. And once again, my dahlias, I'll do the same with my marigolds. When I come to pot them off, I don't put them off in tiny little plants. I'll let them grow onto a really good size, tip the whole tree out, break them up into little bunches, pot them off that way. But if you're following me through the year with a seed sowing and we're planting, you'll sharp get the idea. Okay, so I'll see you at the plot. Bye for now. Okay, right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll get my breath back in a minute. I've just made my way from home. It's absolutely Baltic outside. God knows what's happened to the weather. We had a couple of lovely days last week when I started seed sowing at the beginning of this video, but the weather's turned really cold. But in saying that, it's not going to harm the seeds we've been planting out. I'm just going to give you a quick walk around the plot and answer a few questions that were on about at the beginning of the video. But if you remember, last month I brought me perennial sweet peas. Now these are a lot different from the annual sown ones. Now what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to chop the heads off. If you remember in the last video, I had the spring sown, the autumn sown sweet peas. God, that wind is getting up, even the tunnel's starting to move around. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing with this. I'm going to chop the tops off, chop the heads off, just down to the first set of leaves there. I'll leave 2 sets of leaves and nip the tops off, and hopefully they'll start bushing out. And I'll show you what I mean when we get next door, and I'll show you the ones we didn't want to go. But these are perennial ones. They're growing great. These will not be planted out until probably beginning of April. But they're looking like a nice, strong little plant. So I'm pleased with them at the moment. As you can see, the far end of the melon house is starting to fill up. We've got all sorts of seeds in there, young cuttings in that, or pot leeks that were sowed a few weeks ago, if you remember. I've got two lots grown here. I've got the elephant ones and I've got the giant white, and already they're way through there. But they'll sit in them pots because they're nice deep pots, and they'll sit in there right until the end of April, beginning of May when we put our leeks out. But by then you should get them pencil thick and a nice round about 12 to 18 inches high leek, which you can pop right into the ground. We'll show you all that if you're following our videos. But everything's starting to grow canny. The strawberries have taken on a lovely deep green. That's the strawberries there, absolutely fantastic. They've had their feed, they've had their spring feed. Just a spoonful of sulphate of potash around them. They had a good spray, a nice garlic spray, and they're looking as happy as Larry. As I mentioned in my Facebook page the other day, I got a load of comments about the fruit trees and fruit bushes. They're only as good as how you treat them. You know, you can stick a fruit tree in, and if you look after it year by year, it'll repay you tenfold. This is our peach tree, and it's absolutely festooned with blossom. It's coming on a real treat. And if you remember, this polytunnel was split right open at the end of last year, so it was open to the weather. The frosts got at it, but I've been right around it. I've checked all the stems and stalks and branches, and Make sure they're nice and clean. There's no breaks. If there is any breaks, just get your secateurs and cut them breaks out. You don't want anything spreading through the trunks or the main branches of your plants. They say that's grown really well. I'm pleased with that. We should get a really good crop off there. Considering the damage we've had done this year, I'm over the moon with the way things are going. But we've got the 2 polytunnels covered again. As we're outside, we've got most of this fence has been repaired again. There's still gaps in it, but the majority of it's been repaired. Well, we took all the old benches down because the benches were causing a problem with the northerly winds. When they were catching them, they were blowing the whole fence over. So we took all the benches out. We're going to have to build some new ones over the far end, and just enough to keep it going. But the majority of the fence is put back up. We've got a few stabilisers and that still to put in it, but once that's done, it'll be good to go again. Been busy filling the muck bins down here, down this bottom end, at the bottom of the garden. Oh, if I can get it into this greenhouse. Woo, that's it. A lot better than here. Now there's my spring bed I was on about. And if you can, from a packet of seed, I've got about 4 or 5 trays of these. These are the foxgloves. Absolutely fantastic. And these were just grown from seed from last year. As I say, I can get that back in. Kind of hit the hole. Right. As I say, if you get good seed, you shouldn't have any problem. Well, here's me new vine that I took the cuttings from. As you can see, lovely and strong, and of course it's lovely and clean. I clean all the stem down, make sure it's all, scrape it all down, get all the rough off it. I don't know if you can see it there. That's a vine there, and of course it's starting to bud up lovely. I'm getting some nice young buds starting to come on it there. But on the whole, it's lovely and clean. And of course, a couple of lads coming in and want to spray the vine with. Well, as I say at the back end of the year, once it's all stripped down, once all the leaves die off, I give it a good scraping. You can take a little, where I brushed it, give it a good brushing down. That's it. If you're growing from the same rod, from a single rod, like mine down home, it's got multiple branches, multiple side shoots. I'll clean all them down, cut right back, cut all the side shoots straight back to their main stems, and then give it a good spray. A little bit of soapy water and a touch of GS fluid, and that's all I get. In the summer, well, it's common sense. If your vine's inside, if it's outside, you're not so bad, because unless you're up against a wall. Make sure you've got a good gap between your vine and your wall, a good couple inches, and that lets the air behind it. Keeps the vine nice and clean. It's letting the fresh air into it, so you shouldn't have any trouble with boitress or moles or anything outside. It's inside where you get the problems if you're not looking after your trees properly or your vines. Make sure you've got plenty of fresh air. Our doors are open all the time, 24/7 in the summer. They're always hooked back, so there's plenty of fresh air coming through. If you do happen to get a bit of mildew on them or anything, which you can do, your baking soda or your milk can cure that. If you get an infestation of green fly, black fly, white fly, which you shouldn't do on grapevines, they should be pretty well clear of that. All I use is a little bit of rhubarb juice and give them a spray of that, and I don't spray the actual grapes itself. I keep the vines nice and clean. You can give them a garlic spray if you want. Keep the vines nice and clean when they're in the green and the roots, their leaves. Spray them, but once them grapes come on, I never touch the grapes. I leave them, just spray around them. But as I say, grapes are usually pretty good. They keep themselves pretty friendly free. If you feed them well, water them well, you shouldn't have any bother with them. But that's my tips anyway. I've got a few flowers to start handing out this week, and of course that's the polyanthus. Look at them. Absolutely marvellous. I'm chuffed to bits with them. They've grown really well this year, and they got off to a poor start last year because I had left them up the top greenhouse. But then I took them home to dry out and then potted them off, and that's the outcome. The roots are just poking through the bottom there. So I think I'll start handing these out there this week. There's 2 or 3 trays of them. Absolutely marvellous. I'm over the moon with them. That's the polyanthus. A packet of seed. You probably get 150 seed in, and that's a result. It's so easy to grow your own from seed. It doesn't matter how big your garden is. If you get a few packets of perennial seed, and you can fill your garden up, no problem. There's another tray of young cuttings that I've took earlier on. Seedlings that I had down home, and they've just been potted off. Now they'll be potted up exactly the same as them in a bigger tray, bigger cup, and they'll be fantastic for the autumn, for planting out in the autumn. It's so easy to grow them, and of course, if I can turn that around, here's my sweet pea that so many have pointed out in the last video. I was chopping their heads off, and here's the result. Perfect little plant. There's 2 little plants in there. I cut their heads off down to 4 leaves or 3 leaves, and they've shot away. There's loads of little side shoots coming away. Fantastic little root system on there. Great. And they're ready for planting out. I'll find a spot up the garden where I can harden them off. Put them on a bench without the wind. It'll probably be next week or the week after. Middle to the end of March. Just keep an eye on them temperatures. I hope we're not going to get any more frosts, but they should be hard enough. These have been sitting in here for 2 months now, since I brought them out the greenhouse, out the melon house, and they've been sitting in here in all weathers. And of course, we've got plenty of fresh air in the tunnels here. As I say, the doors are always on the hook. Theirs are on the hook, and there's always fresh air coming through. Plenty of fresh air. We've got this one full of cabbage and broccoli, spring broccoli. I'm starting to head up over here now, so loads of stuff to keep us busy. Roger's been digging away like a little beaver outside. He's managed to get nearly all this side of the bed done, so we're ready to put our potatoes in, which is normally Easter. Well, it's only a fortnight away. So I'm back outside again, and of course, there's my beds here, all ready. Onion bed ready. That's for seed onions. The seed onions will go in there. The top bed, potatoes will go in there. Bottom bed here, we'll put seeds in there. We'll put beetroot, carrots, turnip, and then we've got another bed over this side that we're just busy on with now. We'll manure that, plenty of lime in it, and that's where our brassicas will go. So we're well ahead. We're getting there. Even though the weather's been absolutely rubbish up here, I've just been plodding on. These 2 greenhouses here of slowly getting turned around. That's a Livingston daisy. I did the other day, if you remember, down home. I potted them off. They are up here now. Just a cold greenhouse, no heat whatsoever. You can put a plastic top on if you want, but I don't for the likes of that, daisies and that, marigolds, I never bother. Now this one's got a lot more this is me little friendly greenhouse that I do all me sowing that in. I've got absolutely hundreds of packets of seeds to get through. I'll start this week. I've got loads of planting to do. Kale, I've got more marigolds to go in. I've got dahlias to go in. There's all sorts to go in yet, so I'll just take my time. I'll do a couple of packets every day. I've got my mix already made up here on my trays. Now I've got a few fruit bushes down here that I bought last year. Blackcurrant. All I did is I potted them up into litre pots, rose pots, and grow them over the winter in them, and there they are. They're taking bud on. Now what these will do, these will end up down home along the wall in black boxes, but I'll let them grow on. No hurry to plant them out yet. I'll let them grow on a bit until about middle of April. Make sure all the frosts have gone. That's a loganberry. That's just coming into bud there now. But what I want to do is I want to get them out of here because it's a little bit warm in here. I know there's a vent on here. There's an automatic vent which will open up at I think it's set at 60. But I want to turn that down a bit. I want to open it up at 50, 55. Because I don't want the fruit brushes getting too soft. I want to get them out, and I'll put them up into the boxes down home, and then I'll give them a good feed of fertiliser, home manure, homegrown manure, a good feeding of that, and a handful of sulphate of potash, and that's them done. Plenty of manure in the boxes itself, plenty of good soil, and they'll be well away. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of fruit off them this year. On the top here, I don't know if you can see them, all my brassicas, they're all in. I've got the broccoli, I've got the red cabbage, greyhound, Maximus sprouts, golden acre, and that cauliflower, white cauliflower all year round. So all them are in. Why I plant them this month is because we'll give them fortnight to come through in a cold greenhouse, which takes up to the end of March. We'll pot them up. You know how I pot my brassicas up? I always wait until I get a nice big plant. I never bother with this rubbish with 2-leaf. Put them off when I get 2 leaves on. Too small. I always wait until I get a good root system, and that's the idea. I plant them in a nice deep tray like that. You get a really good root system on them, and really nice strong little plant ready for potting off. And when they're potted off, they'll go into the cups which are next door, the paper cups, and they'll sit in there till quite easy till the middle of May, which is when we start planting out up here in the northeast, because we can still get some really cold weather. And if you get a nice strong plant growing really well in a cold greenhouse, you do not want to be sticking it out in the garden when it's minus bloody temperatures, or snowing, or blowing a hole like it does up here. Sometimes in April it can be really cold up north, so April's a no for. We'll always wait until May, and then we'll start planting out. We'll get our tatties in next week, and the week after, I say Easter. Onions, well, onions are only like at down home. They'll stay down there for another fortnight at least, till the end of March. And then what I'll do is I'll bring, because there's not much heat on down home. It's only 50-55 in my greenhouse. I've only got that little soil warm cable, that's all. So they'll come up in a fortnight's time into a cold greenhouse up here, or in the melon house where it's double protected, and they'll sit in there for another 5-6 weeks. They're only in little cups at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll put them up in a 9cm square pot, which I haven't got any more or less similar to them. That's just a little bit bigger, that's a 12cm. But they'll go into pots like that, and they'll quite happily sit there till the middle of May. And I'm quite happy planting my onions out middle to the end of May. As long as they're growing well, they'll go into the 3-2-1 mixture, which I've got here, and that's all the feed they need. They'll be absolutely rumpy. I'll give them a little bit of spray. I'll make up a little bit of rhubarb juice if I start getting some young leaves off them. Actually, that's a job we're going to do tomorrow, me and Roger. I might add it into next week's video, but we're going to dig up a couple of the rhubarb roots from out the old trench over there, and we're going to transplant them into this new trench just in front of this greenhouse here. So I might add it. When I dig them up, I've got my spit to bring up, and that's an ideal tool for doing jobs like this. I'll bring my spit up, and I'll dig a couple of roots up, split the roots, get the best off them, because the insides they'll be gone. They've been in there for 14 years, I think, in that bed. I was supposed to do that bed 5 years ago when I come off the roof and shattered my leg. So it's well overdue. So if I dig a couple of plants out this year and a couple next year, I'll be well chuffed. Get them split up, get some nice new crowns, and get them replanted into a new bed. I've got plenty of work there to do it, so it's another job for the video. But I just thought I'd give you an update on the seed zone. Easy thing to do. Just your basic rules. Keep it easy. Keep it simple. Nice soil. Nice compost. Nice fresh water. Don't forget about your fresh water. Don't use crappy water out your butts. That's okay for midsummer when you're watering your plants, but it's no good for seedlings, because as I say, with what's in the water, diseases and whatnot, they'll quickly turn your compost green, and that's the worst thing you want for your seedlings. So anyway, I'm gonna get cracking because I've got work to do. That's the candelabra polyanthus I grew last year, the seedlings, and they're cracking little flowers. Yeah, absolutely lovely. Not much of a scent from them, but they're bunny little flowers, and I say they'll grow on and grow on for years to come. They'll give you a fantastic flower. As I say, perennials are so easy to grow. Just take your time with them. A few little easy steps. If you're broadcasting, that's fine. If you're multi-sowing like you do with me, your small seed, your lobelia, limbs and daisies, stuff like that, just put them in 3 little rows. And you'll see there, the sense of that is when I come to put them up. You'll see 3 lovely rows of seedlings, and you can easily go away at them and take out little clumps, which is another thing I always say, always go on about. I never put off single little flowers. I always put them up in little clumps, and you get a much better display for your garden. And for the amount of seed that you get, it's quite easy to do. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to get this video hopefully online in the night, and I'll wait for your comments. As I say, your fruit bushes, get stuck into them, get them mucked, get them well cleaned out, some nice fresh compost around the tops of them, and a good handful of sulphate of potash. That way your fruit trees will love it for you. Summertime, plenty of watering. Don't let them dry out, just keep them nicely. Spray when necessary. Don't just spray for the sake of spraying. If you don't want to use chemicals, you want to follow us, it's a few simple rules. Use a rhubarb spray. You can use I do chamomile. All my seedlings are sown with chamomile before they start, so it gives them a best start in life. Soapy water, best thing. Garlic sprays. There's loads of different recipes out there if you look around for them that you can use without having to resort to chemicals. But if you want to go down the chemical line, that's fine. Just we would rather keep away from it and try to be as bee friendly as we can. We don't do anything to harm the beetles and the flies and the hover flies, because they're your little army you need inside your greenhouse, and that's another good reason to keep your doors open. You let them in, welcome them in. Plenty of flowers, marigolds, stuff like that, so they'll come in and they'll not only be attracted to your flowers, they'll straight on your fruits, your tomatoes, and they'll pollinate them for you, and that's the whole idea. Look after the beasties and they'll look after you. As I say, there's no harm in letting them in. They'll not do any harm whatsoever, apart from the butterflies. They'll want to lay their eggs and you get the caterpillars, but you can always put a net up at the door to keep them off. And let the little fellas through. But that's it for this video. Enjoy it. If you want to catch me through the week, you know where we are. We're on Jeff Foreman on the Plot on our Facebook page. If you want to follow on that, send my friends request and we'll get you up and join. We're starting to feel a bit better now, me and Roger, so we're, as I say, we're motoring on. We're getting my seeds sown, and hopefully we'll be planting out within a few weeks' time. But just keep an eye out for. We'll try and get a video out as much as we can, and we'll help you as much as we can with your questions. Okay, see you all again soon on the plot. Ta-ra for now.